Well, for more, let's cross now to Madrid and correspondent Sarah Morris. Sarah, on the one hand, you've got the pardons for other separatist leaders, the beginning of negotiations undertaken by the current socialist government, and on the other hand, the sense that this Carles Puigdemont cat and mouse saga is going to run and run.
That's right. The Carles Puigdemont has really, since 2017, been able to evade being extradited back to Spain, and his lawyers and his supporters chalk that up as a victory. We know, of course, that his lawyers and his legal team studied very carefully, selecting countries that weren't as fast about applying European arrest orders as others. They targeted Belgium. They also targeted the UK. And it may be that eventually Carles Puigdemont has to come back to Spain to face justice. But today, Carles Puigdemont walked out of the court, suspended. That extradition procedure has not been cancelled. He will get some time because the court in Sardinia concluded that the court should wait for two orders, two rulings by two European courts. One on the question of parliamentary immunity. Are MEPs immune from prosecution, even if they are being investigated or prosecuted for crimes previously to their becoming an MEP, and even if it has nothing to do with their work as a current MEP? That's a question which will be answered. The second ruling that is to come from a European court is being asked by the investigating Supreme Court Judge Pablo Llarena. He asked, should European arrest warrants, how should they be applied, and on what basis could other countries, other partners in the EU reject them? The Sardinia court wants to wait for those two rulings to come back before the court rules on whether the Sardinia should extradite, apply the request of the Supreme Court to send Carles Puigdemont back to Spain. And just another thing, Francois, there were two other wanted members of the former Catalan government who went to Sardinia today to back Carles Puigdemont. The judge from Madrid here today actually wrote to the Sardinian court and said there are still warrants are out for their arrest in relation to 2017.
So anyone's guess whether or not they'll be stopped at the airport when they leave. How do how does the broader Spanish population feel about it? You say that those in the separatist camps support Puigdemont. How do they feel about the fact that this is all happening, again, at that time when they were starting this negotiation process?
There is a huge question mark as to what that will do for the negotiation process. Many Spaniards feel that there were separatist leaders from the Catalan government that did not flee Spain and stayed and faced the justice system, were convicted, and although those pardons were controversial, they did serve prison time for using public money and for trying to push ahead with that breakaway from Spain. Carles Puigdemont and some of the other members of the government declared independence, pushed it through, and then left the country. And so some Catalans and Spaniards feel that there are two separate categories of people. But there is a worry that those talks that are going on between the socialist left-wing government and the Catalan government could stall, even though the Catalan government is very divided. And Carles Puigdemont, for a long time, has been viewed by some of the left-wing nationalists as a liability. He has been calling the shots from Waterloo as much as he can. And interestingly, there's always a show of unity when he goes to court. We saw the current head of the Catalan government, the left-wing nationalists, today calling him president, even though the left-wing nationalists feel very much that they came higher in the last election, and that they now run the Catalan government. And that division is something that the Spanish government hopes to use in order to get people round the table and to get some pragmatic kind of breakthrough, distancing the Catalan government from the hardliners like Carles Puigdemont, who feel they held a referendum back in 2017, they won it, and they feel to some extent that they have that independent republic, and it's a matter of implementation.
Sarah Morris, many thanks for that live update from Madrid.